has been out for a bit of time now. And while it's been mostly positives, as the season progressed, we get a lot of content, we get a lot of new features. There has been a lot of things that have been hurting this game as a whole, generally speaking, big time. And since season 4 is almost here, I think the devs should really look into these things in order to fix this game and have it improve as a whole. Because I'm gonna be honest, I think having these things just be in this game as a whole, as a recent or just for a really long time, is honestly just gonna hurt the game in the long run for the fact that these things are in the game. And I'm going to be talking about some things that I feel like they seriously need to either remove or just rework completely, because some of these things are just kind of insane how they've been allowed to just stay here for so long. At the top of my list, we're going to go from least important to most important. I think they're all important, but in terms of how I view it, I'm going to start with the whole stacking thing that they added. I think this is probably one of the worst things they've added to this game. I don't really understand why they would remove a stacking feature in a casual game, and how, the whole thing is just, play with your friends, all that stuff. Usually that seemed like, oh, okay, it's just casual. And especially with how they designed the heroes and how crazy everything is in this game, I think it's very weird they would remove stacking in like low elo. Like Diamond and GM is not really that high of an elo, like realistically speaking, compared to like Celestial and Eternity and One Above All. I think what they did with the Eternity Plus stacking, like you can only do, I think is fine, but why are you removing stacking in Plat and Diamond? It doesn't really make any sense. Another thing, why doesn't make any sense to me why they would remove stacking in these lower elos and just take away you being able to play with your friends is, like I said, it's a casual game, and I don't understand how, in fact, like a company could add something like the Chrono Shield token things and just literally have people be protected from losing games, regardless of like, oh, if someone throws my game, oh, I can protect. Like, it's just gonna hurt. It's just gonna hurt everyone in the long run because they can use it as well. So I don't know why they would add something like that, but then also remove the ability to stack. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest. I just think the fact that they removed that just kind of sucks. Why am I getting punished for having friends? I don't understand that. Why am I getting punished for, using a feature that's in the game to play with my friends and, play competitive with them in order to improve? And it's not like, one player is silver and one player is, GM, for example. But I don't know. I really don't like this change. And I think they really should 100% revert that. They have to revert that. Well, I don't think have to, but at least change what didn't need to be changed. Like, just go back to the way it was. Like, just have the duo at I think it was Eternity Plus, probably. Maybe, I could be wrong. Or Celestial Plus, whichever. But for the lower elos, I do not think they should just remove stacking. That's really not cool. Just really bad, honestly. Another thing I wanted to add to that, now that they remove stacking, I don't know if it's, just me, but, you hop in quick play and then, especially in Resource Rumble, I just feel like the games have just been a lot more, sweaty. Maybe just it might be because of what your rank is, but I'm not really sure. But honestly, like quick play just kind of just feels like 50-50. You get like a chill game or you get like a cool game, and then all of a sudden you're just trying to relax, and then you just get the Avengers on the enemy team trying their hardest to win, and it's just really weird because it just feels like, hey, these people want to play comp but they can't because they remove stacking, and now you're gonna punish little Timmy for playing quick play because they remove stacking. So honestly, they just need to revert that. I don't think it's super crucial, but I think it does help keep the casual aspect and just keeps the fun of the game, because sometimes people just want to play with their friends. It doesn't make any sense. Next, I have the ranking system. Before we go into the ranking system segment, no, EOMM is not real. I've never believed in it, and it's not real. It's never been real. I highly doubt it is. You know, it just reminds me of the new Elo Hell from Overwatch, if you have played Overwatch. And this is just my opinion. They addressed it that they don't use EOMM, and some people just don't believe them. Like, oh, like, no, it's like they're lying. First of all, as a business standpoint, why would you lie to your consumers? You know, it's kind of because if they find out that, oh, we lied about using this type of matchmaking, that would already hurt the player base that's complaining about this type of matchmaking. And it just like, you would just lose more players, you know? First off, it just comes off as like you don't trust us, you know, the consumers, to believe you. And they just, I don't know. I really doubt they would lie about that. It doesn't make any sense, you know. However, I will say the matchmaking and the rank system needs like a big, I don't think a complete overhaul, but they seriously need to implement placements. Overwatch has it. Most games that have a rank system has it. Dude, Street Fighter has it. I think they need to add placements. Why? Because I don't think it's going to necessarily fix the matchmaking and just like, you know, eventually, like sometimes you just get bad teammates. That happens. It's just the nature of the game, you know. But I think if they just have placements, it can help like the rank disbursement, whatever, like even out like the rankings, because I think there was like a post somewhere that more people are in GM than gold, which doesn't really make any sense because it doesn't feel that way, because most of the people who are complaining about, you know, being hard stuck are usually like, you know, no offense, plat or below, right? So it's kind of weird how this graph, I'm gonna post a picture of it. I don't know if this is 100% true, but a while ago, you know, there was like this graph that said, oh, more people are like in GM instead of like gold or like plat, which is the more common rank, you know? So I think if they just add placements, it helps, you know, even out the rankings, you know, get a more accurate portrayal of where everyone is, because the fact that everyone just starts at bronze, you could literally just play this game, just grind out this game, even if you don't deserve to be at like even diamond per se, you know, it's just ridiculous, because, you know, it's just, it's too wonky, you know, it doesn't make any sense how, you know, you have this ranking system and then you remove stacking, but then you also add chrono shield. It's just a big mess. Honestly, this ranking system is just a big mess. They need to just, I think the best thing they could do is just add placements. I think that's the best thing they could do, just add placements, because you can just get an accurate portrayal most of the time about where you should be and where most people should be. And I think that would just help, you know, have people just want to improve, because it's not like it matters if you just start up in bronze and you can just climb your way by just, I don't know, like occasionally you hop on and then you actually try to win it and sometimes you don't. But it doesn't even matter because you can just climb back up because you just play. And I think having placements can just actually encourage people to, you know, actually want to win, because now there's like, oh, okay, I have to try and do good in my placements or else I'm going to be at a rank I don't want to be in, you know? And I think that's a route they could take, and I think that would be for the better. Now, in the last one, I don't even think I have to say it, but I'm going to, because it's ridiculous. Honestly, I'm going to try and just keep myself calm because I don't want this turning into a rank, like a rant. But honestly, these two deserve it. Why the hell have these two characters not been nerfed? What characters, you might ask? Why is Loki and Luna, two characters who have been OP since season 0, not been touched? The worst part about it, they released Blade, right? Cool DPS. Why does it feel like he's worthless because these characters are so strong? Now, you might think, oh, this is like unrelated, but like Blade, for example, he breaks the Loki ring, so it's an instant counter. No, it doesn't matter, because this guy literally just copies the Luna, and then guess what? 24 seconds of just immortality. And not only that, they gave Luna another buff, essentially, with the Adam Warlock team up, which is pretty good, honestly. Like, It might not look like it's crazy, but it is. And the fact there's just too much raw healing that half of the DPS characters just feel like nothing. They feel worthless because it's just another sustain fest of just pumping out healing, just like too much. It's too much. It's just, these characters seriously need to get addressed. They just, like, you don't even have to just butcher them. All you have to do is like either A, for Luna, reduce the ult duration on her, her dance, her ultimate. And for Loki, just, I don't know, have his, like, when he copies someone, he doesn't instantly get his ult. Have him have a echo effect from Overwatch, like where he has to like build up to it. It's ridiculous how he just copies the ultimate and then boom, instant ult. And if they did, nerf like the healing that they both do and then just the ult duration, I would be okay with, some of the other ultimates not lasting as long or like not doing as much damage because it's like, it'd be fair. But the fact there's just so much healing and like a bunch of the DPS characters can't really do enough damage to pierce through them, and it just feels like a giant stall fest. Like honestly, every time like you don't ban Loki in ranked, I ban him every time, by the way. If I'm not playing him, I ban him. That character is just, I don't want to deal with that, honestly. Because every time he's in the game, it just turns to like, oh, they have a Loki player or a Cloak and Dagger, he just copies, and then just becomes like a giant just stall fest for like 20, like 30 seconds, and it's just ridiculous. The worst part is about it, you'll kill like a support, right, with like an ult, like a mag, you'll hit like your shot and be like, oh nice, we did it, and then you just hear the Loki voice line, and then it's just over because I can't do anything. And then if you don't have a DPS that can really kill the support, then it's just over, you have to deal with it. And then I don't know, it just drags out the game way too long. Like I don't like how it's just basically the way to win, is just the ultimates. It's just like the neutral is just farm your ultimates, and whoever ultimate is better, you win. That's kind of lame. I'm not saying ultimate shouldn't be strong, they're an ultimate for a reason, but why the fact is it just because, oh, this guy copied support that can last for 10 seconds, oh, therefore they win. It's not really fun. It just drags it out. So I don't think they will, but I would really appreciate if they just nerf the ultimate. That's all you have to do for these two characters. They've been OP since season 0. Why are we nerfing random DPS characters like Iron Fist or I don't know, I don't really know, Mr. Fantastic? Yeah, they nerfed Mr. Fantastic for I don't know. This video is not really the most cohesive and like professional. I just need to make this because it's kind of just like my personal feelings honestly about this, that it's just ridiculous how these two characters and the whole, like the amount of changes they just add to the game have just been, so like off-putting, honestly. While the game is still good, I do still enjoy the game. I just think these features and just these things in the game need to be just looked at or reworked or just removed. Like, I don't know, have a season where you remove Loki. I don't know. Actually, don't do that. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think I said everything. So yeah, I think the 3 features they should have a look at, rework. The stacking feature, I'll say it again, it doesn't make any sense how you add a feature like the Chrono Shield tokens and then not allow stacking. Doesn't make any sense. You're literally giving people a free pass to just rank up, but then we can't even play with our friends. I don't get that. Next, the ranking system. No, EOMM is not real. I think you're just bad. Obviously, you're gonna have some games where it just feels like, you really can't do anything. You just like, you just lose at the load screen, and that's okay. But placements I think would really help this game, honestly. Just make it for the better. And then lastly, these 2 freaking characters that I just hate when I'm not playing like either of them. Even when I am playing, it just feels like this is just ridiculous. But yeah, let me know if you agree. Let me know if you want anything else changed. Yep, and catch you next time.